Welcome to Mini Stories, where we will be listening to Reddit stories. A woman from high school and college expressed interest in me romantically today, and I felt a strange new type of anger. I'm 32, and we met in high school. We were both pretty academically inclined, and we ended up taking many of the same classes. AP Literature, AP Physics, AP Calc AB, AP Chem, etc. So we ended up taking many of the same courses together, which led us to be friends. After a while, I had a pretty serious romantic interest to her, but she was fairly clear she wasn't interested when I discussed it with her. I completely respected her boundaries, and we remained friends until we gradually lost contact in college. Her taste in partners was always never particularly good in a traditional sense. One of her boyfriends in high school had absent parents and would chronically throw parties and sell drugs there. Another guy just basically skipped classes routinely and would bully other kids. She ended up getting into the University of Maryland and on track to attend medical school after. I ended up majoring in physics and ultimately getting a master's in data science and now working as a software engineer. I later learned that she ended up pregnant to a college athlete and dropped out of college entirely. From what I gathered, he ended up failing to make a career out of his collegiate experience and ended up as a high school coach. They got married and had another kid, and ended up divorced a couple years later. She then had another kid after her marriage to a boyfriend and now works as a nurse's assistant. We recently reconnected at a party with mutual high school friends and decided to stay in contact as friends. I thought that's all she wanted out of this, but after texting tonight she informed me that she had always been interested in me and wants to date. Given how she dismissed me earlier, I found this hard to believe. It's easy to notice that she's now a single mom of 3 with a low-paying job. She also knows I'm doing well and knows what I do for a living. She saw my house by the water with a boat. It feels like she wants me only because she has crippling responsibilities now and thinks so little of me that she doesn't think I deserve to be with someone who genuinely loves me and not for my things. Comments: I understand your feeling. She rebuffed you, you accepted. Now the rest can be viewed 2 ways. She's back now that she has baggage, or her life experiences have matured her and she has an interest. Either way, you don't have to find out which it is because it seems you are now both incompatible. That's perfectly fine. She wanted different things, and that's fine. You now want differently from her current life, and that's also fine. I don't think there is a need for anger. You weren't each other's person. That sucks. But you seem to have built a good life for yourself, so just focus there. No was valid from her, and it's also valid from you. Incompatibility can be hard. But there is danger in the anger framing this has. I would look into the insecurity or hurt this tapped into, because her interest after all of this time shouldn't really mean anything at this point. OP replied to comments: I'm not upset that she matured. What I found upsetting is that she lied and tried to sell me on the idea that she was always interested. I don't want someone who just casually settles for me out of obligation. I want someone who enthusiastically wants me and wouldn't want anything else. As a friend, I expected that's what she would want for me. It just angers me that it isn't. I genuinely don't have an understanding where your aggression is coming from, but from speaking to her, I don't get even a base level a sense of enthusiasm. From absolutely everything I know about her dating history, I'm not the kind of man she's attracted to put it even generously. Again, I'm really absolutely not interested in being a boring choice that someone settles into. I want to be someone's exciting, vivacious pick when there is absolutely nothing encumbering them. Update: it's been a strange 24 hours and I'm not quite sure what to do. About half an hour after posting here a couple days ago, I let her know that I'm presently not in the market for a relationship and that we are better suited as friends. She seemed to receive the news well, and I felt the dynamic between us wouldn't change. We already had standing Friday night plans to try out a new Korean barbecue spot about 10 minutes driving distance away from my home, and I confirmed she was still interested. She explained she doesn't get too many opportunities to just go out and have fun these days, and she was looking forward to it. Plus her mom had already shifted her schedule so she could babysit. The dinner went well and we got to catch up on interests, hobbies, and even talked politics to an extent. We both even like Black Mirror, and neither of us had caught up with the new season. After a few bottles of soju, it was getting late, but neither of us had responsibly drank. To avoid an expensive 50-minute Uber back to her place, she asked if she could come sober up at my place since it's much closer. We split the bill, then Ubered back to my place, and we started watching the new Black Mirror season. Neither of us was really in a state to pay attention to the show, and we ended up cuddling and later on sleeping together. When we woke up this morning and got dressed, I called us both an Uber back to the restaurant so we could both pick up our cars. When she messaged me after getting home, she mentioned how next time we need to plan our dates better. At first I thought she was joking, so I replied with a laugh emoji, but then she started trying to schedule a future date. I then clarified that I was not in the market to date and what happened last night was just sex. She didn't take the news well, at all. She hasn't stopped blowing up my phone accusing me of using her or misleading her. She's now escalated to insults and veiled threats. I'm not even responding at this point. I feel like I was really clear that I wasn't interested in dating and told her that up front. It's been 2 hours of almost constant texts, comments. Buddy, you sent her mixed messages. Of course she's going to be upset you led her on. That's 100% your fault. I can't say I feel sorry for you here. Why did you sleep with her? You told her you weren't interested. You aren't interested, why sleep with her? Honestly, you're just a hypocrite. You said you don't want to date her cause you think she's just using you for money and knows you had a crush on her, but now you know she wants you, even though you don't want her. You decide to use her for sex? Nah. I was on your side until this. WTF. OP reply, you did send her a double message by sleeping with her. Hope you did not get her pregnant. Sounds like she has a track record of that. Fortunately, I had the presence of mind to use a condom. She wasn't keen on the idea, but I insisted. At any point last night, did she call or text her mom telling her she was going to be home late or would be spending the night at your house? If not, she had this planned out all along. At the same time, you knew what this could turn into. You were flirting with an edge here. Not interested means not interested because at any point you could have just gotten up and driven her back to her car. Instead, you had sex. It's hard to tell. She didn't call anyone, but I was also drunk and both of us were sometimes on our phones at different times. Not to mention there are times I went to the bathroom. She could have texted her plans changing, but I don't know. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe.